mornings filled with meaningful business talk.
Giving you useful advice on how to win at your career.
I am Randy Bernardino.
And I am Mayan Manzano, and this is
Daily Insight. Good morning, Mayan. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. You?
I'm good. I tried to dress extra special today.
Yes,
for
because
our topic.
All
Yes.
about fashion. Okay, without further ado, our topic
Yes,
today.
we are discussing fashion design as a business. And so we have tips and steps for all of our viewers today with our very special guest. Who is our guest for today?
Yes, of course. We have a very special guest, a celebrity fashion designer, Lian Martin, for our topic today. Again, our topic is fashion design as business.
Let's
Hi,
all
Lian.
welcome Lian.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Okay.
So do we dress okay?
are
We
we-
wanted to look
I
nice.
love the
Are we-
print and print.
Are we
okay.
pasado?
I know, I was so self-conscious today about what am I gonna wear, you know?
Oo. Dapat ba
You
medyo
look
eccentric
great.
tayo? Dapat ba medyo kakaiba tayo?
Yes. So a lot of our
Okay.
viewers want to know who is Lian Martin. If you can give us just a brief introduction.
Well, I've been a fashion designer for about 2 years.
2 years.
So everything started from right after graduating from fashion school, which was SOFA, School of
Okay.
Fashion and the Arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which gave us a way to ask the first question, why did you pursue fashion design?
Yes.
Well, initially, I was supposed to take up business management, but then I
Oh, okay.
stumbled upon this fashion blogger called Carla's Closet.
Oh,
And then I was
Okay.
amazed with all the clothes that she was wearing. So then I was already sketching then. I was doing self-portraits.
Oh.
And then I thought, why not try out fashion design, fashion sketching, and then the rest is history.
So that's when you decided to attend SOFA.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then while you were there, what was some of the things that inspired you for your, pursuing the
Yeah.
design business?
Well, for example, with my first collection for our graduation show, one of my inspirations were architecture, like I mentioned
Architecture.
earlier. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
architecture. So one of my advice is to find inspiration from everywhere, not just the internet.
Oh,
okay. I think I already started talking about our tips.
Oh, about the tips. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just curious, no? Sabi ni Lian, well, the first plan was to take up business management,
Oo.
but she saw this blog and she was inspired. Meaning, you really was into fashion na, kahit na you already decided to take up business management, and you mentioned that you were already sketching and
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
So you're really into it na? Nagdodraw ka na talaga?
No, at
nagde-design?
first I was just doing portraits.
Oh,
so
portrait,
parang
hindi
hobby
mga
lang.
damit.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was the clothes were last na.
Okay, so ano naman yung startup story? How did you actually build the brand? Kasi
Yes.
Oh my God.
again, sabi namin, celebrity fashion designer.
Oo.
Give, Randy, kanina pinag-usapan natin, she already designed for, to name a few, Marian Rivera, Selene Yusaf.
Yes, I think we're posting some of the
Pia
pictures now.
Wurtzbach. Yeah, sige, magpa-flash tayo ng
Oo.
pictures. Okay, how did you start?
Yes.
Well, right after graduation, we post everything on Instagram.
Okay.
And then the stylists, they approach you, they send you personal messages, and then they borrow clothes. So the first celebrity I dressed up was Vice Ganda.
Really?
For an award.
Oh my
And then
God.
the rest is history.
Wow.
Well, but how did they find you on
Oh.
Instagram? Like, did you use a certain hashtag? Did you tag those stylists?
No,
Or-
I wasn't hashtagging.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
I think it was mostly through Sofa's Instagram. Yes.
Oh, so
okay.
their Instagram mismo.
Yeah, not
Yes.
your personal Instagram
Yeah, and then
account,
they message you through your personal one.
Oh.
Also, Randy, I'm very curious. When you graduated from Sofa Lian, did you actually think of, okay, I'm gonna work with this designer? Kasi di ba may pangalan na and you wanna
Oo.
be their associate and stuff. Or you really wanted to put up your own?
Well, initially I did an internship with H&M.
H&M. That's a
okay.
huge brand also. Okay.
Yes.
It was just
Wow.
here in Manila.
Okay.
And then not the one in like Europe.
But it's still H&M.
Oh, no.
But then I really wanted to get into my own business. So I just learned the basics and then did my own.
And you wanted to name it talaga na your name.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Diba?
Fashion designers, for them to have
Yes.
notoriety, it needs to be your name.
Oo.
Maybe individual names for your collections and pieces like that.
Yeah.
Oo.
But to be known as a fashion designer, dapat yung pangalan mo talaga.
True. Okay, so after the internship, for how long pala yun?
I did the internship for 3 months. Yeah,
After the
that's it.
internship, 3 months, and then what was the first piece? How did you start, like, putting up Lian Martin?
Oh.
Lian Martin started, like I mentioned earlier, right after graduation.
Okay.
Okay.
And then a few months after that, I launched my first holiday collection.
Nice!
Oh.
Holiday collection agad!
It was December of 2015. And
Years
then
ago.
the second collection was the following year with it was a collaboration with Emma Dizas, one of my good friends.
Also,
And then
of
the
course.
latest one was the RTW, which was just launched last month.
Yes! I'm
RTW
following her
stands
Instagram.
for
Ready, to
Ready to
wear.
Ready to Wear. I'm learning this fashion
Correct.
lingo.
Hindi na siya made to order ngayon. She opened
Yes.
also, she launched an
Yes.
RTW. Okay, it started, parang ang dali lang, no?
Oh, well, you know
Para
what's
kay
so
Lian, but-
successful for her is that she was using Instagram, and I guess stylists
Oo.
now today are looking at your profile as
Oo.
your lookbook, di ba?
Yes,
Oo.
exactly.
And also, it will not be easy, Randy, if the designs were not, pang celebrity talaga. Imagine the
Yes.
stylist, going to you personally and then asking for your design or damit to send clothes. Okay.
Oo.
So, after Vice Ganda, the rest is history. Sumunod na yung other celebrities.
Yes, we'll talk about some
Amazing.
more of them in our next parts.
Okay, so we will discuss the tips and the steps in putting up or making fashion design as your business. Kasi di ba, as discussed earlier, parang course lang siya,
Yes.
ganyan, or hobby, but it could actually be a very promising and big business.
But before we continue with our topic, let's say hi to some of our viewers.
Yeah, let's read the comments first. Okay, first we have Gilbert Maglasang. I like your specs, Lian. Okay, Lian, gusto nila yung
Thank you,
specs mo.
Gilbert.
I like your specs to Randy. Okay, and then hi, Lian Faye, watching from Gold's Gym, Dubai. Hello.
I hope we
viewing.
are
Marhaba.
inspiring you for your
Wow.
workout today.
Oo, may fact dun pinanganak si Lian, guys. Dubai
Yes.
also.
So for
Gilbert-
all of our viewers who are watching, leave your comments today as we
Yes.
discuss our topic, fashion designing as a business.
Yes. Okay. Now we proceed, Randy, with the tips and steps. Also, the advice
Yes.
a celebrity fashion designer can give to our aspiring fashion designers out there.
Yes.
Okay. Now we start with the first three. No, first three tips.
Yes, what is your number one tip?
Well, number one would be is to find your own source of inspiration. And like I mentioned earlier, architecture is one of my source of inspiration.
Okay.
And second of all is know the basics of fashion and business management, because as you know, fashion is it's not just all about sketching
Yes.
or
Yeah.
being artsy or creative.
Yeah.
You have to know the basics of business management
Oh, okay.
and how to run your own business.
Right.
And third of all would be building your own team that you could trust.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Building your own
Yes.
team. Okay.
Let's go back to number one.
Yeah,
Oo.
sabi, inspiration, Randy. You
Yes.
have to have an inspiration, and then one of the inspirations of Lian is architecture.
Architecture.
Okay,
Yes.
what is the downside kapag
Oo.
hindi inspired ang isang fashion designer?
Yeah, why is it so important to
You know
have
how
inspiration?
you know how they say writers, they have this thing called a writer's block.
Yes.
we get
Yes.
that then sometimes
Oh,
with designers.
talaga?
That nothing's
Same.
coming in, so you have to look for inspiration everywhere, not just online.
When you have that designer's block, what is that? You don't design anything, or do you just design things that are some things
That
you
are
don't?
common na
Yeah.
or hindi na unique, ganun ba?
That's the problem. Nowadays, most designs are just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Oh.
So it's best to look for inspiration around you.
So how do you find that inspiration? Do you just
Oo.
walk around like?
And look at
Because,
architecture
you know,
sa
in-
Makati.
Yeah, exactly. In Makati, we have
Oh.
plenty of nice buildings. diba?
Okay.
Yeah, and also siguro when you travel, you
Yeah.
really observe these
Exactly.
structures.
Oh, yes. For the people who can't afford to travel like me, what can we look at?
Wow.
Just like architecture
Magazine
books,
na lang.
Magazines,
magazines,
history
okay.
books.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just very curious also, how is this architecture affecting or influencing your design.
Yes.
So yung mga dress mo ba, mukha ba silang buildings? Or
Oh, is it like a pyramid? Like
let's explain that.
okay.
Well, with my first collection, one of the inspirations were architecture. So some of the clothes were somehow a bit structured on the outside, but still gentle on the inside.
Okay. Nagpa-flash naman tayo. Para lang may visual.
Yes.
Structure on the outside,
Oo.
gentle on the inside. Okay, we need pictures for that. Okay, so again, it's very important to have an inspiration as a
Yes.
fashion designer. And also, second tip, Randy.
Well, going back, the basics of fashion and also for business management. Now, why is that important?
Well, like I said earlier, it's not always about being creative because you have to know how to manage your own business.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say I'm the most creative designer, but if I don't know how to manage a business,
Walang
Exactly.
business
oh,
skills.
you can't get clients, you can't market your
Yes.
product. So, what's the use of being the best creative designer if you're not selling your designs?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and you're also marketing yourself.
Oh. So, what are the basics, Lian, of fashion? Like, okay, how do you learn? Do you really have to go enroll in a fashion design school to learn all these? Or
For me, I went to School of Fashion and the Arts. So there we were taught the basics of business, entrepreneurship, accounting, the basics of the technical side, which was sewing, pattern making, draping.
Well, it's so good that you have a well-rounded
Yes.
curriculum.
Yes.
Hindi basta, okay, these are the colors that match. Sometimes some people...
Trust me, it's way more than
Really?
that.
Yeah. Some people have this misconception, especially with fashion schools and art
yeah,
schools.
akala natin it's like drawing,
Oo,
sketching, ganun
diba?
lang.
But they really teach you to be business women, businessmen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And now for the basics of fashion, that's important. So that clothes fit, right? Diba?
Correct.
Oo. And
That you're able to market that
Yes.
clothes or designs. Okay, the third that Lian mentioned is that building your team. Okay, who are these team? What comprises a team of a fashion designer?
Well, for the technical side, we have a sewer, a
sewer.
cutter, a pattern
Cutter.
maker, and then I have my PA, of course, because you cannot do everything on your own.
Yes.
And then we have a delivery guy, and then we have sewers.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Before
Ang dami.
you got those people, who was doing all of those things?
Me?
You. You were sewing. You were
part in the
cutting.
beginning,
You
yes.
were delivering.
Making.
Also?
Yes, also.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So
Grabe,
that's why it's so
no?
important to build your team.
Exactly.
Pero naging celebrity fashion designer na siya.
Yes.
The team grew, malaki na ngayon, may sewer
Oo.
and all that. Okay, why is it important to select, the best of the best na
Yes.
sewers, ganyan?
Well, like I said earlier, you cannot do everything on your own, but it's also important to know each aspect of your business. Like I said, from delivery to production to quality control.
What's the most important qualification when you're looking for your team? That they are very talented or they are
Yeah,
dependable? Or, what are some things that are important?
Dependable is one of them, and they have to follow instructions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you leave something and they'll do their own thing, and then we'll have to redo the whole outfit.
Oh my gosh.
That's a waste of time.
And it could
Yeah.
be
That's why
frustrating.
I'm very thankful for my team right
Yeah.
now.
Hello to all of you.
Hello,
Are they
I hope
doing a
you're
good job?
watching.
Amazing.
Yes. I think they're asking for a raise now. No.
Okay, so how did you employ or where did you find these members of your team, Lian? Saan mo sila nanap? Are they friends of
Most
yours?
of them were through recommendations. of
Ah,
friends.
okay. Well, that's
So
good.
it helps,
Yeah.
no? May recommendations from friends. Oh, may so work akong kakilala, magaling. And then, okay, magtrabaho, so that's it. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so we learned the first 3 tips of fashion designing as business. So that's, again, Randy, inspiration. Find your own inspiration.
Number 2, know the basics of fashion and business management.
And number 3, building your own team.
Yes.
Building a team na dependable, talented as, of course, the fashion designer and people who will follow your instruction. Kasi,
Yes.
for example, you have this idea, tapos hindi nila execute,
Yeah.
that could be really frustrating.
Oh, before we go, let's say hi to some of our viewers from the
Yeah.
previous part. Let's hi to George Alo. Good morning. George always watches. Thank you for always watching. From
Thank you.
Ottawa, Canada. Jackson Lucas.
Nice,
Wow.
thank you. Happy viewing.
And from from very far away, from Central Condo, 2 buildings over, Erlo Gabriel Bringas.
Thank you, Erlo, sa suporta.
Yes, and to Miss MV Margie. Good morning to all of you.
Okay, good morning.
Yes. Now going to what is tip number 4?
Yes.
Okay, so number 4 would be to find your own system of productivity.
Find your
what is
own
that?
system of
Well,
productivity.
meaning different designers, we all have our different processes of productivity, meaning sometimes they sketch first and then you find the fabric. But for myself, I like purchasing the fabric first and then draping it around, see different types of silhouettes.
Oh,
Basically, that's it.
Okay. So you don't start with a drawing first?
No.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, iba-iba pala.
Yes,
Lian,
it's all
okay.
different.
It's not like... But in school, I'm curious, were you thought of a one template na ito yung process and then eventually you just learned your own system of
Yes,
productivity?
exactly. That's what we were taught in school.
Oh,
But
okay.
then along the way, especially towards graduation, you find your own system.
Ah, okay.
It's so cool, no?
Yeah. Now with
May
your
ganun
process,
pala.
is a lot of your designs like accidental? I mean, just like because you just drape it, right?
Some of it, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a good analogy. Siguro, like how we have our different styles in reviewing.
Yes.
Ganon,
Oo.
diba? So, ganon din pala.
Well,
So,
that's good when you have your fashion designer's block. Diba? When you don't know what to do, just take the fabric, just
Play around with it.
yeah.
Oo.
Oh, that's how you get over your block.
correct.
Oh.
So,
Yes.
other fashion designers pala, lahat pala kayo iba-iba. You have your own
Yes.
process, own inspirations, may kanya-kanyang discard and style. Okay, so the fourth one is to find your system of productivity. So, walang pattern, Lian. Like, walang formula.
Yes.
Whatever is your most productive na process,
Oo.
Exactly,
pwede yun.
Yes.
Okay.
So find out what
Sige.
works best for you so
Yes.
that you don't waste time, di ba?
True,
Sometimes some of your clients, especially for custom orders, may deadline, di ba?
Yeah.
What about, don't you, you also said before, you told me before that some clients call you the day before?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
We've made clothes overnight.
Oh
God.
my
Grabe
gosh.
naman sila.
Ibig sabihin lang nun, productive.
Yes.
Nahanap niyo talaga yung
Yeah, I
system
don't
of
know if it
productivity
says
niya.
designer/magician.
Oh, you know what? It's because you're so in demand. That's why.
Grabe, no? The night before the event. Okay, of course, our last tip.
Yes. What is the number 5 tip that you
Yes.
can give us today?
The last one would be is to design with a purpose. So at the end of the day, fashion is what you make of it. So kids now are the new trendsetters, but also be mindful of the trend that you set. So
Okay.
make it fashion with a purpose.
Okay. So for you, what is your
malalim.
purpose?
Well, it's to make women feel empowered,
Oh,
like
okay.
confident.
Sorry, Randy.
I
Ayaw
know.
mo na kasama. Women muna. Baka mag-explore muna si Lian.
But you have a men's line
Yes.
also.
meron na ba?
We-
We also make menswear.
Yes.
Pero
So
mag-focus
men will
tayo
be
sa women
also
empowerment. Okay.
Sige.
Make women feel empowered. I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, and to have them feel confident, di ba,
Yeah,
wearing
yeah,
your clothes, especially when for me personally, when I wear something that looks good and makes me feel good, di ba?
And usually in the world of fashion, parang you make a woman feel beautiful, a woman feel pretty and stuff.
Exactly.
Eto, kay Lian, empowered. I
Yes.
kind of like that. I'm more of that empowered thing than looking beautiful,
Oo.
di ba?
What's the downside if a fashion designer doesn't have a purpose?
Then you have no direction.
Oh, yeah.
You
Then
design, wala.
it's
Anything,
meaningless, and then it just becomes, maybe you'll lose your passion. Diba?
Exactly, yes.
You need, sometimes you hit some obstacles, some roadblocks, and you need that driving force to get you through those hurdles.
Correct. Okay, to summarize everything, Randy, those are the
Yes.
5 very important tips for fashion designing as business. First,
First, you have to find your inspiration.
Yes. Second,
Yes.
You have to know the basics of fashion plus the business management side of it.
And also for number 3, you have to build your team in finding the right people.
Yes. Fourth, find your system of productivity. There's no formula. There's no template for that. You can find your own process.
Yes.
Yes.
And lastly, to always have a purpose in your fashion designs.
Yes.
To keep you motivated and all the more help you to achieve that success that you're looking for.
Correct. Now,
Yes.
words of advice for our aspiring fashion designers and those who would want to, or already fashion designers and would want to have it as their business.
Yes.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, you need to learn the basics of management.
Yes.
Because not only you're marketing your clothes, you're also marketing yourself. You're your
that's
own
true.
brand.
It's a very good point.
Yes.
It's a very
Because the
good-
brand is called Lian Martin.
Your brand is your name. Your brand is you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Diba?
Okay. Good words of advice.
Yes.
And all of the tips that you've learned today are so very helpful for all of our aspiring fashion designers. Now, a lot of our people maybe want to get in touch with you.
Yes.
Or do you
How?
have a showroom? What's the best way?
Our showroom is by appointment, and we're located in San Lorenzo Village. And you can also find us on Instagram at Lian Martin.
It's below our
Yes.
Lian
Lian
Martin.
What's Martin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you have an Instagram, Facebook page.
Lian Martin.
Lian Martin.
Yes.
Oh,
So
see,
same.
you're branding yourself.
Yes. Okay. So you can reach her guys through Facebook, Instagram, and of course her showroom in San Lorenzo Village, Makati.
Yes.
Yay.
So we all hope that you enjoyed today's episode. These are mornings filled with meaningful business talk.
Giving you useful advice on how to win at your career.
I am Randy Bernardino.
I am May Manzano, and this is
Daily Insight.